What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Let's Chat podcast. This is episode number 3. I'm your host, TyBear, and your other host, Dom.
Hey, hello everyone. How y'all doing this week?
So, as you know, we record the podcast for you guys usually on Fridays for you guys, so you guys can get a watch on Sunday. Usually is when this podcast will come out. We record on Friday to get it to you guys, and then we also record chicken block. But I am not completely up to chicken block. My body is completely fried right now. I did not sleep well last night, so I am not completely up to recording a chicken block tonight. So as we are recording this, it is Dom's birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Well, thank you.
It is also my mother's birthday.
Oh, it is.
So yeah. So as we are recording, Dom is recording with me on his birthday, and I have been busy I worked out in a little bit in the shop today. I did a little sanding with the new signs that we've been making that I made for our podcast, and they are that you guys probably didn't. I don't know if you guys got to see them in the podcast. I didn't get to completely watch after the editing. Usually when I watch, I just do the editing. I do it quickly. Now when I do some editing for like the plays that I do for my church, then I actually do watch the footage because I'm listening to silence in the clips, and I do watch those and actually know where to do it. So that is something I do actually pay attention to when recording, and or when I'm editing. But when I do the actual editing for like all my other videos, I'm just completely just go through it. I just do a quick glance at it, and then I use AI editing for when I edit my videos, which is actually a lot better for. It makes a lot more sense, and it does all the editing for me. So, and that's built into my editing software. So, how you been, Dom?
I've been done. I went to church Wednesday. That was a fun Wednesday because it was Ash Wednesday this week, which pretty much, if people are not religious, it pretty much means you. Not everyone does this anymore, but originally when Ash Wednesday was made, you did ashes, draw a toss on your head, you don't eat for that whole day. What I did was not eat for that day. I didn't do all that extra draw on your head with a toss, with ashes.
I
Being pretty done.
I never heard of that before, because ours does not do that.
It's we had the choice to do it or not at our church, and I decided to
You
fast
decided to do
for
it.
that.
Our church.
I
Okay,
didn't
so I've
baptize.
heard of it that way. It's called more. My church calls it a cleanse, and my pastor has done it many times, and he brings it up to us like I'm doing a cleanse, and they done a cleanse for our church like that, and it's interesting. I never done it because that's just not how I am personally. So I never really
Hmm.
done it that way. Yeah. So
Well.
so what are you doing for your birthday today?
Well, it was what I was doing. I went. I shared a birthday with my date demo. I asked her what she wanted to eat for today for our birthday, and she wanted Popeyes chicken. I don't know if y'all have a Popeyes where you are.
No,
Um,
I don't have one up where I live, but the nearest town does, or the nearest area where I live in a small town,
yeah.
so we don't have one.
Anyway, she wanted Popeyes for our birthday, so I was like, okay, I had to buy her some Popeyes for our birthday. Um, Another interesting fact: me, my date demo, my actual demo, my dad, and one of my stepbrothers, and my grandpa, we all share the same birthday month, which is March. I was like, okay, instead of just me and you eating Popeyes, why not invite everyone to come eat Popeyes? And that's what we did. We went to my date demo house, and everyone came over, and we ate Popeyes and cupcakes. Yeah, that's kind of why I told you I kind of have something going on, but if I get bored or have time, I can up on, and as you see,
Yeah.
I did have time.
Yeah, so I was just telling you I got a new game, and this is actually it. It is called Gotham Knights, and it's based off of the Batman trilogy. So it's based off of the kind of more it's more of a Batman game, but instead there's no Batman. It's actually more of Robin, Nightwing, Batwoman, and Red Hood. Now, so I was looking at the game. I haven't got to play it yet because I'm like downloading it right now. But
Man.
I was looking at the video. I was looking at the videos on YouTube, and I love how they start the game, and it's interesting because the way they start the game is Bruce Wayne filming himself saying, "If you hear this, I'm dead." And then it shows like a whole scene of Ra's al Ghul uh, battling Batman, and that's how he dies. So it sounds
Well,
where now I played the other Batman games as well, and in the Batman Arkham City, it's the Joker. Joker dies. You battle the Joker. Joker dies due to a virus that he used in Arkham Asylum.
mm-hmm.
And so he was super sick. He had that was in his blood, and he poisons Batman as well with his blood, and that comes into after Arkham City. It's just stops for a little bit, and it brings back into Arkham Knight, which Arkham Knight it tells that Batman is becoming the Joker, and
Oh,
the villain is actually the main villain of the story is actually the villain's actually called is the Scarecrow, but the in Arkham Knight it's actually the main villain is actually Jason Todd trying to get revenge on Batman, but he's calling himself the Arkham Knight. So
uh,
it's a there's I know I done videos on it, so if you guys want to go watch those, they're down in my channel, guys. You guys can go watch them anytime you guys want. Um, I played plenty of games for you guys. I played it wasn't Assassin's Creed, by the way. Actually, I was just thinking about this. I did a 1 day live stream of playing a game, and it was actually I just remembered it was actually the Batman Arkham City game that I played in 1 day, and that was an all nighter. I just remember that actually. But yeah, Arkham City was a good game. Honestly, all our Batman Arkham games were good because there's also Arkham Origins. This goes Arkham Origins, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. Well, actually, sorry, Origins, and then Asylum, City, and then Arkham Knight because they all have Arkham in them.
yeah.
So they were honestly, if you're looking for good games, I do recommend getting all these games, guys, because these games that I played, I do them for you guys. I haven't decided if I'm gonna play this one yet on stream yet. I'm gonna try it out and see how long it takes me, and then I will do a decider on if I want to actually play it online for you guys. So yeah. So Dom, you've been doing the Five Nights at Freddy's series lately. How's that been going?
Uh, it's doing which one, the Diamond Page series or the Perfect Video ones?
Are you doing both?
Yeah.
So okay, so
I don't think I made. I
how
don't
do
think I made
you? I
one
never
this.
played the Five Nights at Freddy games.
I mean, and you missing out. Anything, not
I'm
everyone.
not a big horror person.
I only got into the game because my stepbrother, there was a time, I mean, I was younger, my stepbrother, I think it was my middle stepbrother, he had me play on his phone or tablet, I forgot which one it was. I died, I threw his phone across the room. Ever since then, I kind of went back to the game and started to play, and it's now one of my favorite games. But to answer your question about how my Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay series is doing, It's doing pretty well. I kind of gave up on the last game because it wasn't. I kept dying. If y'all do watch that video, y'all will see what I mean. But it was close to the end of the game anyways. Like if I would have beat that night, the game would have been done anyways, and I would have been on the next game. So what I decided to do is was like, okay, I keep dying for some odd reason, and I didn't understand why I kept dying because the people that I was being killed by, they should not have been killing me because I was doing on their vent where they come from. But that I was like, there might be some type of bug in the game that no one realizes it, or maybe I just dumb and don't know what I'm doing. um, so I was like, no, I just moving on to the next game. So
I did that a lot with the Batman games because as soon as I beat the game, well, there's also you have to there's villains that you have to battle as well to be able to do certain things. Well, in Batman Arkham Knight, you have to battle all these different villains. You have to battle Two Face, you have to battle the Penguin, you have to battle the Riddler. I want to say there's this pig guy as well. There's a guy in a pig mask, and you have to
okay,
battle all of them to be able to activate the night. I want to say it's the night protocol is what it's called. I want to Nightfall. It's called Nightfall Protocol, and you have to beat all the bosses in the game to be able to end the game. So,
mm,
but to beat the game, you have to collect for the Riddler. You have to collect all of his trophies to be able to beat him. Have you seen my intro? New
your
one?
newest one?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah,
So you know that
I
okay.
have.
So the giant robot with and Batman. That's me battling the Riddler, and
Oh,
that was me battling the Riddler. And in the game, you have to battle these. You have to battle all these robots, and you have to battle that giant robot as well with the Riddler in it. And it's hard. It's really hard to do. So yeah, no. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one, guys, go check that one out. It is on. There's videos on YouTube for it, and I did beat the game for you guys. And I know Dom has videos on his channel. You guys can go watch. Go check those out as well. There is always a link down in the description to the Chicken Box series if you guys want to go watch that.
yep. It's
Go
a good
watch.
series,
Yeah.
especially the last episode where we talked you up our iron.
Yeah. So yeah, we do a lot, guys, on our channels. We do a lot of filming and stuff. And eventually, guys, like I said, I've been working on the TV show that I've been working on. I've been working on getting the scripts all written out. I know I have two of the scripts already, and I want to get with Dom this week and work on the set stuff a little bit more and get all that all set up. But I want to wait until and see what my internet is like after getting it all hooked up. So I haven't really got in there to be able to do all that. But I'm gonna work with Dom. We're gonna try to work on some set stuff. We're gonna try to get set up to where we can start filming the actual show. I'm gonna work on trying to recast some of the members that I need to recast because there's a few of us that I need to make characters for. I need to contact some of the old cast members and see if they still want to do it. So there's a lot of us that are out there and that we need to work on. And if I can't get all that, then I'm probably going to end up scrapping that and just keeping the world as just a fun little series thing. Um, for me to work on over time and just kind of build off of because I don't know. So all right. I'm going to go into my church stuff this week for the podcast, if you don't mind me doing that, Dom.
By all means, go ahead.
Wednesday I did okay. I got all the music put in for my church, and then on Thursday I go to Min Bible Study, which we were talking about. They were talking about membership and how membership works inside of a church, and there was
Mm-hmm.
they were also talking about there was something that they were talking about that interested me, and this is why I was asking questions a lot during that because it was like interesting. So when we were reading the book that we're reading is called Disciple Warriors, and it's it talks about the armor of God, and it in the Bible. There's I don't it's hard to explain it, but in the Bible we're talking about the armor of God, and where in this one they were talking about how membership is, and then how like certain areas are being affected by Satan. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really interesting to hear because it's like, but the thing is, what I liked about this one, this recent chapter that we just read, it was talking about like different areas in the church, and we were talking about membership and how like what we do in our church, it taught we do membership, and it came up with a figure of what membership is for our church, and it's exactly what we follow in our church today. So it was just
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And then I do tech for my church, and it was also mentioned tech support inside of the church. So because that's what I am. I'm in the tech area for my church. So it was interesting that they talked about that as well. And it was just different. So
Huh.
in your church, do you do any like kid ministry or?
I think we actually discussed this before, but to be fair, I sort of in the kids point area of our church. So I deal with the kids and help out with the kids when their parents go into the actual big part of the church where our pastor preaches. So,
So you do
yeah,
a Sunday school is what you're saying.
pretty much, yeah.
So our church, they don't really they do little kids church now. They don't really do Sunday school anymore or children's church anymore for
Mm-hmm.
ours. They do it's I want to say the name, but I cannot think of the name. But they call it Littles Room, what it's called. And they release all the little kids, but then all the big kids have to stay in the sanctuary. So there's been a couple times where our pastor was talking about some things that the bigger kids didn't want to hear because it was just kind of it was a little bit inappropriate to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but this last week was interesting because he was talking about communion and how communion works inside of our church. And I liked how that worked out. Now, my church is actually they're doing something right now called Free 16 on Free 16. And you probably know which Bible verse I'm actually talking about. Can you tell me?
But wait, what? Hold on
So
now for a minute. I'm not.
so my church is doing something called Free 16 on Free 16. Do you know what Bible verse that is from?
No, not from the top of my head.
John 3:16.
I see. That's why, because I haven't read John yet.
You
Okay,
never read John 3:16?
not yet. No, I read in the Old Testament.
Okay, so John
You
3:16
see,
is for God so loved the world, whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
oh, that I didn't know that was. I thought that was later on. I didn't know that was in John.
That is John 3:16.
Well,
So I'm actually now looking up. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone just to and I'm gonna read it out here while we're on. So you guys get to
I
learn
just
about you're learning about our cultures a little bit, guys, inside of our podcast. So me and Dom are Christians. We both are Christians, and Dom is more. I'm Baptist, so I believe. I don't know what I'm gonna kind of look up a little bit of things for you guys, but I wanted to read that verse out for you guys. I know I just said it. I
hey,
know
I have
it.
it. I have it pulled up already. If you want me to read it,
Let me pull it up on my own
okay.
real quick. Since this will be simple. Okay, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. And then John 17, 3:17, for God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. And I was looking at online there's like it goes some people talk about like how to write it into a sermon. Well, you can look up and see this and like what the Bible verse relate to, which is I like that. So yeah. So what what is your religion, Dom? Like what does it consist of? We lost Dom here for a minute. He's muted. Um, all right. While we're waiting for Dom to get back, um, I'm gonna look up the different religions here just to kind of get an idea, and then we'll go from there for the podcast. But Dom is gonna. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I saw it. I was in the middle of talking to my cousin first. Let's have Seth with
Okay,
his
so I
face.
just looked up what is a Baptist church because I'm curious on what it
Mm.
is. A Baptist church is a domination of Protestant Christianity distinguished by the practice of believers' baptism by immersion, meaning we get immersed in water, and its emphasis on congregational church government. Government. So, Baptists believe that baptism should only be administered to those who made a conscious decision to follow Christ and are old enough to understand the meaning of baptism, and that it should be done by full immersion, not sprinkled or pouring. So, um, I've been baptized, and so they basically the pastor dunks you underneath water and then brings you back up. Is how that works. Where some churches they just sprinkle you with water. We believe in full immersion. So that's kind of what my religion is. I don't know what you believe in or what yours is exactly. I know you told me. So if you want to kind of go into detail for me on that.
It's kind. I said kind of new on at this, so I don't really have a rate like kissing any other part of. As of right now, I just am kissing no matter Baptist, Catholic, whatever. I just am a normal kissing. I mean, long story short, we all believe. When it comes down to it, we all believe in the same thing. God and Jesus. Jesus died for our sins, yada yada. But with
Well,
that
the
being
thing
said,
is,
it's
in the
like,
Bible, it states that Jesus is God,
yeah.
and there is only one God, and that's what Jesus is.
It
So,
also states that he is also half human too, which,
well, he was born.
um,
So in the Bible, he was born human, but he died on the cross for our sins, and that's when he went up to heaven and became God. So,
which is, which is a very, for someone that is new, like, for someone that is new to that type of stuff, like, I mean, I was, which is the 24th of this month will be my 1 year anniversary of me becoming Christian and going to church, reading my Bible, yada yada. Someone that was never opened Bible, never read Bible, never been to church. It was confusing at first, like how can Jesus be Jesus and God? But once you actually start to read your Bible, it tells you a lot of information that I mean sometimes it doesn't make sense because Jesus just doesn't come out and just say, oh, this is what I mean by this. He wants you to figure it out. That what we been talking about at church the past few weeks was Jesus in the Bible does not tell you what he's talking about. He wants you to figure out. He gives you hints on what he's talking about, but he doesn't fully come out and tell you what he's talking about.
that's what the pastor's job is, to explain it to you.
Anyway, and our homework was leave us homework every week. Not actual homework, like you have to do it. It's optional.
Yeah, it's an optional
Um,
thing. You don't have to actually do it.
our homework for this week was he told us he gonna teach us, but he's not gonna tell us what he was trying to what Jesus was trying to tell us. He wanted us to go home, read our Bible, and figure out what Jesus was trying to tell us instead of him saying this is what he was saying in the Bible. So I actually did that, and I actually have my notes from last Sunday. Hold on, we was talking about how Jesus taught about oh God, Jesus sorts to talk about money. He very unpassionate about it. For the fact that I don't know read you everything in my note. It says the measures of the treasure is in direct concept to their abilities, meaning the amount you make is pretty much based off of your abilities to do that job.
Which
For that,
book of the Bible is this in?
Genesis and Matthew 25:14-29, New Living Testament, and Genesis 47, 1-6.
Hold on. So okay, hold on. I have my Bible open, so let me pull it up. Matthew what?
5:14-29.
Okay, so I'm gonna read that real quick. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another one, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had 2 talents made 2 talents and more, or 10 talents more. But who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also who had the 2 talents came forward, saying, Master, you delivered me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. Wow, this is actually really confusing.
And that why he kind of told us to go home and figure out what Jesus was trying to and God was trying to tell us in that. Which what I got out of it is he judged. What he did in the Bible was he taught the people and he gave the certain amount of money to those people based on their ability to do that. And as you was reading, you saw that one of the people came back with more than what Jesus had gave him.
Yeah, so they were
And then
going with they were talking about like going you have he says bring 2 things and then he brings 2 more, or then he says 5 more or 5 talents and you bring back 5 more. It's like it was just a little confusing, like just reading that.
but yeah, it does get confusing. But like I said, what I thought out of it was he basically he gave them the amount based off of their abilities and what they could do, and the person came back with more. It's some amazing,
So
some crazy stuff.
so my church has been doing for my church we've been doing a lot of First Corinthians, and First Corinthians is talk. It goes into what the God's Supper is about, and in the we
Yeah.
read out of we read out of the ESV version a lot.
Mm.
So that was my version that I just read just now is the ESV. So okay, so I'm gonna check real quick and see how long we've been recording. Perfect, we've been recording for 35 minutes. So, yeah. So in the Bible, I get that the Bible it's really confusing. Like I get what you mean. It's like you read into it, and then it does get confusing, and then it doesn't at the same time. So
I wanna I wanna read you one of my voices that I found that I kind of found funny that he said that because it's in, if you want to read it, it's in John. Actually, hold on. Let me, instead of doing my online Bible, let me do my actual Bible that way. I think, because I have it highlighted in my actual Bible.
okay.
It's in John. I know that. There's John. There's John.
I love how
John.
we just
This
turned
is
this into a
about,
Bible study.
I love how this podcast is
It
just
took us.
becoming this.
It came into a Christianity type talk. Okay, what is it?
If I can, no. Is it not? No.
You'll find it. I'm gonna go ahead and bring into. So my church, we themed our start time for our sermon, our church, into First
Mm-hmm.
Corinthians. So we start our Sunday school, or for our not our Sunday school class is at 9:15. So that goes into 1 Corinthians 9:15, which I'm trying to find now where 1 Corinthians is in my Bible, because apparently my phone is not. I don't know why it's not like that, but okay.
Okay, I found it. I found it. But I don't know what you do. What you need to do first.
Okay, I'm gonna go into 1 Corinthians real quick.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna read two. I'm gonna read a couple. I'm gonna read a couple, two verses. So, like I said, chapter 9:15 is what our Sunday school class is, and it says, "But I have made no use of any of these rights, nor I am writing these things to secure any such provisions. For I would rather die than anyone deprive me of the ground for boasting." So I don't know why my pastor wanted to go into that one. 31. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, all to the glory of God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why our church starts at 10:31 or 10:31. So that's why my pastor does it that way. It's interesting because, and I don't mind because I'm there. I'm there at 8 o'clock. So
Yeah.
so I'm gonna find. I'm wondering if there's a Bible verse of why we do it that way at 8 instead of, or if there's not. I don't know. So I'm gonna look while you're doing the. So what is it for you? Your Bible
It's
verse?
John 21:20.
Okay, John. Oops, yep, John 21,
Mm-hmm.
verse 20. Go ahead.
To background information before I read it, this is pretty much, I believe, at the Last Supper before Jesus did crucify. And this is Peter talking right here. Peter turned around and saw behind them the disciples Jesus loved, the one who had read over to Jesus during supper, and asked, "Lord, who will betray you?" Peter asked Jesus. "What about him?" This is one of my favorite parts right here. Jesus replied, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? As for you, follow me." Like, Jesus just straight up and just said, like, mind your own business, dude. It's none of your business who betrays me.
He does say this again in verse 23. If it is my will that will remain until I come, what is it that comes to you?
Right. He pretty much just say up and just say, mind your business. It's not up to you. That's none of your concern. Like, and he was just asking you, and you just, I mean, Jesus have a point that, like, it's not none of his business, but it's just, it's like, wow, Jesus has some snacks on him.
So, yep. So I'm gonna have to start doing a Bible study with you just because now I'm I'm getting into all this.
Make this a series 2 Bible study.
Well, no, just like an off camera type thing, just us talking. I don't have my book with me. We go back into the disciple book for you. Um, but I don't have it with me. It's in my living room right now, and I'm not going out to my living room to go grab a book. So I'm gonna kind of get off the Christianity talk real quick. Before I want to end the stream with, I want to end this podcast here with this. If you are a Christian, good. If you're not, then there's nothing against you. At all. I'm not judging you guys. Me and Dom are Christians. We understand. I don't understand the Bible. Dom doesn't understand the Bible. I'm pretty sure we're not.
Coming from no at all. From someone that was not a non-believer, I can say though that finding Jesus and God is one of the best things I ever done. Honestly,
You know, I agree
I
with you. My brother, I'm going to bring in my brother here. My brother, he believes in God and doing all. He now believes in God. He when he was in high school and going through high school, he kind of fell away from God. I knew he was a Christian before that, and he fell away from it. And I did the same thing. I did fall away from God for a little bit of a time through college because not for college, for high school, because of some issues that happened, and I'm not gonna go into detail because of that. It's kind of so not really a good story to tell, for you too. So, um, so yeah, my brother he talks about this a lot. He did this in a sermon, and I'm gonna share this sermon with you, Dom, later if you want to go watch it.
mm,
My brother goes into this. He talks about his life as before he was a when he was in high school. He was doing drugs and in high school, and vaping and he was just turning into not a good person. And when he got out of high school, he found God and he just decided I'm gonna change my life and stop doing drugs and stop smoking. So that I'm very proud of my brother and how he has
Yeah.
changed now. So, um, if my brother watches this, yes, sorry, I'm talking about you on on a podcast. Um, but yeah, I am proud of my brother, and I'm happy what he's doing now. My brother is now doing an internship pastorship with my church, and also he works with a group called what is it called? I want to say Kids. No, it's not Kids for Truth. I don't remember. It's something Life.
Something like that. All you remember
Oh, it's
from
called
it.
Campus Life. I just remember now. It's called Campus Life, and he's a part of that as well. And so, like I said, I'm very proud of my brother and how he has totally changed his lifestyle. So now, for me, the Bible does not say anything about drinking alcohol. Well, it does, but it doesn't say like you
Hey,
need to stop drinking alcohol because now it says you can do it. You have to do it in moderation. But I don't, and I do that. I drink in moderation. I drink. So I know this is kind of weird for you, Dom, hearing this from me. I do
yeah.
drink, but uh, but I don't do it. I don't do it around.
Just
I don't do it around the channel, guys, because it's not me. I don't like doing it on the channel, but I do. I will admit I do drink on cam. I don't drink on camera, but I do drink off camera. But I don't do it on camera because I like to be able to be kid friendly with you guys and I do care for my YouTube channel, so yeah, I do drink off camera, but I don't drink on camera. So, all right, guys, that is going to be it for this podcast. If you guys are new to the channel, guys, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, so you guys can get notified of when my channel goes live or post a video on the channel, just like this one or the Chicken Box series. And go check out Dom's channel, guys. He does have a there are links in the Chicken Box series to his videos, so you guys can go there and subscribe. I noticed, Dom, your channel is not at 300 subscribers anymore.
it's not.
No, it's at 298. You lost 2 subscribers, Dom. You posted your video not knowing.
Last time I checked, I had 300 subscribers.
Yeah, you had 300, and then it went down. So you lost 2 subscribers. Now, it doesn't mean you will get them back. So,
I don't really care. It's not like it's a big deal for me. I don't really do my videos for the subscribers. I do them because I enjoy doing them.
yeah. So you're kind of the same way I am. I do like to do. I do say, hey, go and subscribe because I want to get subscribers. But I want to. Me personally, I do it as for fun. I like doing YouTube for fun. So, but it's not like I want to do this as a career.
Yeah.
So even though if one day if I do get paid for doing YouTube and I'm able to make enough money to like just do it full time, I will. But I do also like doing my woodworking, getting out there. So yeah, I get to. So what do you get to do now, Dom?
What?
For the rest of the day after we stop filming the podcast?
I'll probably probably do make my podcast either or go ahead and like type out my podcast so that way I can do my podcast and have that ready for Wednesday. And um that's probably it for today. Cause it's 8 o'clock here, so and then tomorrow though, I might do my Levy War episode, my Five Nights at Freddy episode. Unless we do chicken block tomorrow though, if you're down to do chicken block.
I'm planning on doing chick block. I just want to, like I said, I'm gonna try to. I just don't want to do it tonight, right after the podcast, because, like I said, I do not sleep well, so my body is like, you know what we
I
talked
don't,
about this actually in the
yeah,
podcast.
I don't blame you. I took like 2 tests today, and today was my birthday. I did not want to take the test today. At
You gotta
school,
take 2
so
tests on your birthday.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It
so
made
I don't blame you. Alright, guys. So, like I said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Click that bell so you guys get notified on both our channels, guys. It helps out very much. Don's videos are in some of the chicken block videos, so if you guys want to go check out those and click on the link down below, go ahead and do that. I need to update the YouTube stuff this week, so if you guys see the description change on future videos, that's why. But other than that, I need to go and do that. And I'm also going to head out to the shop again and finish sanding our new signs.
be.
Because I got to get that shipped out to Dom. I want you to do it an unbox. When you get yours, I want you to do a unboxing on the podcast.
I was already 2 steps ahead of you on that one, Ty.
Actually, do it on your YouTube channel.
I was planning on doing it on my YouTube channel.
I want to see the reaction, and I'm gonna be putting a note inside of the box, so you're gonna have to read the note. Yeah, if it sounds professional, yes, I used the Google AI for it. I use that a lot for college, actually. So, all right, guys, peace out, and have a TyBear delicious day.
Hi, everyone.